Your hair is growing at half the speed it actually should be. And the reason is not genetics. It is not your shampoo, and it is definitely not something you were born with. It is something you are doing wrong every single day. And after this video, you will never do it again. Here is something that will change the way you think about hair forever. The average human scalp grows hair at approximately 0.5 to 0.6 inches per month. That is roughly 6 inches per year under normal conditions. But here is what the research from 2024 hair biology studies actually confirms. With the right internal and external stimulation protocol, people are consistently hitting 0.8 to 1.0 inch of growth per month. That is nearly double the average rate, without a single visit to a dermatologist and without spending thousands of rupees on laser treatments. The beauty industry does not want you to know this because if you knew it, you would stop buying their RS3,000 serums that do absolutely nothing. So, let me show you the actual system. And I'm breaking it into 5 parts that you need to implement together, because doing just one without the others will give you maybe 20% of the result. You need all 5. Let us get into it. Every single hair follicle on your head is fed by a tiny blood vessel underneath your scalp. When that blood vessel delivers oxygen and nutrients at full capacity, your follicle grows fast, thick, and strong. When circulation is restricted, which happens due to tight hairstyles, stress, and scalp tension, your follicle goes into a slow, lazy growth mode. The hair you get is thin, weak, and grows at a frustratingly slow pace. So the real game is increasing scalp microcirculation. And the most proven way to do that is with a targeted scalp massage protocol, but not the kind most people do. Here is the specific method. Use your fingertips, not your palms. Apply medium firm pressure, not gentle stroking, in small circular motions, approximately 1 centimeter in diameter. Cover the full scalp systematically. Start from the front hairline, move toward the crown, then down to the nape of the neck. Do this for exactly 4 minutes every day. A 2023 study published in the journal Dermatology and Therapy confirmed that participants who did a consistent 4-minute daily scalp massage for 24 weeks saw a statistically significant increase in hair thickness and density compared to a control group. 4 minutes? Every single day. That is your non-negotiable first step. Now here is where most people go wrong with oils, and why your castor oil is not working. You cannot expect an oil sitting on top of your scalp to penetrate 2 to 3 millimeters below the surface where the follicle lives. The massage is the delivery mechanism. The oil without the massage is just a coating. The massage without the oil is fine, but together, using a lightweight carrier oil like rosemary oil and jojoba, the combination becomes genuinely powerful because rosemary has been shown in clinical trials to perform as well as 2% minoxidil for stimulating follicle activity. That is not an exaggeration. That is a peer-reviewed finding. Your hair is made of a protein called keratin. Keratin requires specific building blocks to form properly. When those building blocks are missing from your diet, your body deprioritizes hair growth. It sends nutrients to organs first, hair last. This is biology, not beauty advice. Number 1, biotin, also known as vitamin B7. Biotin is the most critical cofactor for keratin synthesis. The recommended therapeutic range for hair growth is 2.5 milligrams per day. You will not get that from food alone unless you are eating eggs, almonds, and sweet potatoes at every single meal. A good quality biotin supplement, look for D-biotin form, makes a real measurable difference within 90 days. Number 2, iron. This is the biggest one for women in India specifically. Low ferritin, the stored form of iron, is directly linked to telogen effluvium, which is the condition where your hair prematurely shifts into the shedding phase. A simple blood test can confirm your ferritin levels. Anything below 70 nanograms per milliliter is a red flag for hair growth. Get it tested. Fix it. Number 3, vitamin D3. Vitamin D receptors exist directly on hair follicle cells. Low vitamin D is associated with follicle miniaturization, meaning your follicles literally shrink in size and start producing thinner, shorter hairs over time. Despite India being a tropical country, studies show over 70% of urban Indians are vitamin D deficient because most of us work indoors. Supplement 2,000 to 4,000 IU of D3 with K2 daily. Number 4. Protein intake. Hair is protein. If your daily protein intake is below 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight, your hair growth has already slowed down significantly. For a 60-kilogram person, that is a minimum of 48 grams of protein per day just for basic function. And for optimal hair growth, you want to be closer to 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram. Add eggs, lentils, paneer, Greek yogurt, or a plant-based protein supplement to close that gap. Hair growth does not happen randomly throughout the day. Research shows that the majority of cellular division in the hair matrix, which is what physically produces new hair, occurs between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. during deep sleep cycles. This means your nighttime routine has a direct biological impact on how fast your hair grows. Here is the protocol. Step 1. Apply your rosemary jojoba oil blend to your scalp approximately 30 minutes before sleeping. Use no more than 5 to 6 drops total. You do not need to drench your scalp. You need just enough to create a thin, absorptive layer. Do your 4-minute massage right now. Step 2. Switch to a silk or satin pillowcase immediately. Cotton pillowcases create friction that breaks the hair shaft and causes split ends and breakage. This is not a luxury tip. It is a retention strategy. Growing 2 inches means nothing if you are breaking 1.5 inches every month from mechanical damage while you sleep. Step 3. Loosely braid your hair or use a silk scrunchie to keep it contained. Never sleep with tight elastics. The tension they create reduces blood flow to the follicles over the 7 to 8 hours you are sleeping. That is a long time for restricted circulation. One more thing, and this is critical. Your body produces growth hormone predominantly during deep sleep. Growth hormone directly stimulates cell proliferation in the hair matrix. If you are sleeping less than 7 hours consistently, your growth hormone output drops significantly and your hair growth slows to match. Sleep is not optional if you are serious about this. I saved this one for here because it is the most important and the most ignored. When your body is under chronic stress, and chronic stress means anything from work pressure, financial stress, relationship tension, or even intense dieting, your body releases a hormone called cortisol in elevated amounts. And cortisol does something very specific and very damaging to hair. It signals hair follicles to exit the growth phase early and enter the resting phase called telogen. Once a follicle is in telogen, it stops producing hair for 2 to 4 months. This is why people notice massive hair shedding 2 to 3 months after a period of intense stress. The follicles that entered telogen back then are now shedding en masse. The solution is not to eliminate stress. That is not realistic. The solution is to reduce your cortisol baseline through 3 specific interventions. First, 10 minutes of morning sunlight within the first hour of waking. This regulates your cortisol awakening response and sets a healthier hormonal rhythm for the entire day. Second, diaphragmatic breathing for 5 minutes before bed. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system and directly lowers cortisol output overnight. Third, ashwagandha supplementation, 300 to 600 milligrams of KSM-66 extract per day, has been clinically shown to reduce serum cortisol levels by up to 27% in stressed adults. Lower cortisol equals follicles staying in the growth phase longer. It is that direct.